Here's the ultimate selling question that I get asked a lot. How do we get people to choose my product versus the competitor's product? My name is Gary Braun. I'm with Pivotal Advisors, and we work on this type of stuff with sales organizations. And the answer to that question is pretty simple. Execution on the other side is not so good. So when I've asked literally thousands of salespeople, why should people buy from you versus your competition? And the answers I get are things like, well, we have the best customer service, or we've been in business for 30 years, so we've been around for a long time, or our company is super customer focused. I hear a lot of times, because I'm awesome, I'm a great salesperson, so you should buy from me. And occasionally I'll hear other things like, well, we're a family business, or we're green, we're focused on the environment, or whatnot. All of those are pretty much commodity answers. Almost any of your competitors can say the exact same thing. Yes, they're customer focused. Yes, they pride themselves on customer service. Yes, they've probably been in business. By the way, if you've been in business for 25 years and they've been in business for 2 years, they're going to come back and say, yeah, they're old school, we're nimble, flexible, and everything else. So there's a plus and a minus to everything you put out there. So those are commodity answers. Oh, and by the way, the family thing and the green thing, most people will say, yes, that is important. Unless you're 10% more, then they're going to go with the cheaper option. So all of these things, if that's what you're using to differentiate, you're not very differentiated. And in the customer's eyes, if you look pretty much the same, I'm going with the cheaper one, or I'm going with the one that I know better, I have a better relationship with. That's just how the world works. So a better strategy, if you want people to buy from you, really understand how you're different. What are your strengths? Let's identify what's unique about you. Not we're good at customer service because everybody says that, but is there a feature or of your product or your service that you're better at? Is there a part of the industry that you focus on, or a segment of the industry that you focus on that makes you different? And I use this one a lot. If everybody serves all these different industries, but you're really focused on an industry and you get known there and you got a lot of customers in that industry, and you can go to them and go, we get you. We understand your industry, and we know the nuances to your industry and everything else. They like that. That could be a differentiator right there. It could be the process you use. It could be how you engage with them. It could be how your organization is set up. I've seen a lot of people do that, where they say, if you call my competitor, you get the 800 line. And then you have to put in your account number, and you get to the next person. You finally get to somebody, and the first thing they ask you is, what's your account number? God, I hate that. But in our organization, you call and you get a dedicated account manager who knows all about your account. Are people willing to pay more for that? Absolutely they are. And if that is a differentiator for you, you've got to figure out how to highlight that. Your business model might be different. We charge, per user per month, where they charge a big flat fee in the front end. Either one could have its pluses and minuses, but your business model can be different. The point is, find the things that are truly different about you and figure out why they would be an advantage to the buyer on the other end. Now, once you identify those things, this is where people really mess up. This is that execution part I was telling you about. How do you highlight those? I could just tell you, we're awesome because that's what poor salespeople do. The better ones ask really good questions to find out if those differentiators are important to the buyer or not. If I ask you a bunch of questions and say, I don't know, my business model was different, and you go, yeah, I really don't care about the business model, I'm not going to be any different than the other person. But if they go, wow, that makes sense, and I could really spread out my payments and I could do that differently, then that's important. So is that important to you, Mr. and Mrs. Customer? And they go, yeah, that is. I think that's important to me. And then you quantify it, and you figure out how big of a deal that is. And then you go to your next differentiator. And you ask questions until they, at the end, if you've done a really good job, they say, you know what, here's the 3 things that are most important to me when I buy this, that, and the other thing. And if all 3 of those are your differentiators, guess what? You just won. But you do it through asking questions, not just by blabbing. My very first boss ever told me, if you say it, you're just a salesperson. If they say it, it's true. Get them to say it, and you do that through questions. And then you quantify it. Here's another part where people fall down. You tie it to their business. Because they could say, yeah, that is really cool. I like that. Now, don't just move on. You go, why? Tell me, how does that affect you? How does that affect your day? How does that affect the business? Does this make you money? Does this save you money? Does this avoid risk? Does this give you better intelligence? If you had that, what does that mean to you? And you're really blowing this up for them so they can see it's this important to me. And by the time you're done, if they're going, wow, this is huge, I want that, you win, especially if it's a differentiator. That's what we're really trying to get at. People have differentiators. They don't know how to highlight them very well. Sometimes their differentiators are just commodities, and we want to get past that. So, again, figure out what your true ones are. Figure out the questions you ask to identify if they're important. Tie it to their business, and then define that as their criteria for what they're looking for. That's how you win more business. People are not very good at that, and they need help. If you need help, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about it. Go to our website, pivotalitadvisors.com. If you like videos like this, please click like or subscribe below. We'd love to talk to you about this. This is what we really get jazzed about, and would love to have a conversation with you. Thanks for watching.